going to start working on vowels. Are you excited? Yes, I know you are. Let me share my screen. There. Well, I'm sharing my screen now. So welcome to lesson 3. Oh, people, before I forget, would you be so kind as to post a picture in your profile, please? I have to do that as well, right? But why? Because I want to start connecting face and name, right? Face and surname, right? Um, you know that in the virtual meeting, it is difficult to see all of you, and sometimes the connection doesn't allow you to show your face, right? So, this is our third week. This is our third lesson, and today we are going to start with vowels number 1 and vowels number 2, and vowel number 2, right? And the idea is to contrast them. So that's me. That's my cartoon welcoming you to our third lesson. So welcome to our third week. In this lesson, we're going to work on the vocalic duets made up of vowel number 1 and vowel number 2, right? You know that in English, vowels have numbers, right? So we are going to use those numbers in this course. Vowel number 1, as you can see here, is E, E, right? And vowel number 2 is I, 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 right? So, General British English has this pair, this duet of E sounds, right? Now, how many E sounds do we have in Spanish?
I think just one.
Yeah, we have just one, right? E. But in English, we have two, E and I. Now, which of these two sounds is more similar to the Spanish E?
The second one.
The second.
Listen again carefully. E, E. And the second one. I, I, I. Which one is more similar, do you think, right?
The first one.
Yeah, in fact, the first one, right? And we native speakers of Spanish have a problem, which is this, distinguishing vowel number 1 in English from Spanish E, right? Because in fact, vowel number 2 resembles a Spanish E, right? So for us, native speakers of Spanish, it is difficult to distinguish vowel number 1, E, from Spanish E. And sometimes it is difficult to distinguish vowel number 2, I, from Spanish E, right? Okay. So in this lesson, we will be dealing with perception of each sound. You know, this idea of categorizing each sound and creating the correct vowel spaces in our minds, right? And saying, well, this is E, this is I, this is vowel number 1, this is vowel number 2, right? So the idea is that you can receive auditory input, right? And that you can distinguish one vowel from the other, right? And you also need to differentiate each vowel from Spanish similar vowels, right? We will also deal with the articulation of each sound, and particularly we are going to focus on the position of the lips. Why? Because that's the visible part. When we articulate vowels, what we can see is the position of our lips. Okay, and the funny thing is that your lips control the rest of your mouth. Okay, so for example, if your lips are fully spread, when you make E, for example, that makes your tongue be really high in your mouth, right? So E, right? So remember, please, that your lips control the rest of your mouth. Okay, your tongue and your jaw, basically, because for vowels, for the articulation of vowels, we use our lips, our tongue, right, which is movable, and our lower jaw, right? Lower jaw, sorry. We will also compare English and Spanish E sounds. And we are going to have a look at spelling rules for each sound. So far, so good?
Yes.
Great. So let me go to the presentation now. Which is here. There, great. So let's have a look at E first, right? Because it is the first vowel, of course. So let's have a look at some features of E, right? Well, first of all, E is a very acute sound, right? A very acute sound. Listen. E, 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 right? It is very acute. In Spanish, agudo, right? It is a very acute sound. E, E, E. Now, it resembles Spanish E, right? Spanish E. In fact, many learners find it difficult to distinguish between the two. Okay. It is also a high vowel. High vowel. Why? Have a look at the tongue here, right? The front of the tongue, the front part of the tongue, almost touches the alveolar ridge, right? You know, people, what the alveolar ridge is?
Like the space between your teeth and your paladar, maybe?
Exactly. Excellent, Valentina. Yes, very good. So as you can see, the front part of your tongue, and bear in mind that I say front, right? Front and not front, right? Say front. The front part of your tongue almost touches the alveolar ridge. And it is also a very tense vowel. It is acute and tense. You can feel lots of tension in your vocal tracts when you produce this sound. E, right? You can feel the tension. E, 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 right? And it is a relatively long vowel. Why relatively? Because it is sometimes shortened or clipped. Its length, its duration is clipped, is reduced sometimes in certain phonetic environments.
I have a question. Is it
Yes.
like when you say, for example, cheese or something like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheese. Cheese. Yeah. That's the sound we have in that word. Very good. So, shall we try articulating E in isolation? Let's see. I want to listen to all of you. E, E, Right. Okay. Very good. So I'm not making a long Spanish E, right? I'm not making E, 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 right? I'm not making a long Spanish E, right? So don't get that false impression. I'm making a completely different sound. This is not a long Spanish E, right? I'm not making E, 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 right? I'm saying E, 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 right? You need to feel lots of tension when you produce this sound, right? So E, 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 and I don't know if you can see my face right now, but my upper lip goes upwards, right? E, you see? E, E. I'm not making a long Spanish E, 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 E. I'm saying E, E. I don't know if you can feel the difference between the two. Long Spanish E and vowel number one, right? So don't make a long Spanish E, right? This is a different sound. I know they sound somewhat similar, but they're not the same. Very good. Now, let's have a look at the position of the lips, right, for E. So as you can see here in this poor woman who looks miserable, we can see that her lips are fully spread, right? E, E. That's why in English, when you have a picture taken, the person who is taking the photo tells you to say cheese, cheese. Why? Because you have to smile, right, when you have a picture taken. And this word cheese has this vowel number one sound, right? And that's why you have to spread your lips fully, right? And so you say cheese, you see? Cheese, cheese, and so I smile. And the corners of your lips make a firm contact with the upper molars, right? So E, E, right? E, E. Okay. I know I'm not very pretty to look at, but this is the only face I have, right? So you'll have to get accustomed to my face. I'm sorry. I know that at the beginning it may be, you know, harsh, but you'll get accustomed. So E, right? E, E. Okay, so far so good? Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let's compare Spanish E and English, E. So let's see. Spanish first and English in the second place. So, sin, seen. Again. First you listen to me, right? I'm going to say the whole list out loud, right? And then I will ask you to repeat after me, right? But first listen. I want you to create an accurate mental image of the sound, right? An accurate auditory mental image of the sound, right? So listen. Spanish first, English in the second place. Oh, what's that? Great. Sin, seen, me, ni, vi, be, the, di, ti, mil, male, hil, hail, right? Now, let's try this out. Now you try. Sin in Spanish. Sin.
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 Sin. Now in English. Seen.
Sin.
Seen.
Sin.
Right. Me.
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 Now the English version. Me. Me.
Me.
Right.
Me.
Ni.
Me.
Ni. Now. Ni.
Me.
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 Now, Spanish. We.
V.
We. Now, what happens with the in English?
It
What
sounds the
happens with
same
the?
even with the same the different spellings.
Yeah, exactly. But in English, remember that b is a plosive, right? So you need your both lips. B, b, b. Remember that in Spanish we say we, right? We. But in English we say b, 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 right? So let's try. We in Spanish, we,
B.
V.
V.
right? So you can see that, or you can feel, you can sense that the contact between the two lips is very light in Spanish, right? In English, it is very tight, right? So now, B, B, B.
B.
So for B, in English, you need to feel this explosion, right? In your lips. B, B, B. Now, Spanish, the. Spanish, the. Now, what happens with da in English? Remember that da is an alveolar sound, right? And we say d, d, d. So the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge. Okay, so we say d, d. We make a complete closure, right, with the tip of the tongue and the alveolar ridge, right? We make a complete closure, and then we release this closure, right? And again, we have to feel this explosion, right? Remember that the and the are plosives, both, right? The only difference between the and the is the place of articulation, right? But their nature is the same, right? Both of them are plosives. So D, D.
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 Very good. Now, in Spanish. D. D.
D.
T.
D.
Very good. Remember that in Spanish, te is an aspirated in all contexts. We don't have aspiration in Spanish, right? Or sometimes we do have, but it is very little, right? It is almost imperceptible. But in English, we have lots of aspiration, right? So we say t, 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 right? So T,
T.
T, T.
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 So here you have to control two things, right? The aspiration of the initial T and the quality, the accurate quality of the vowel. So again, T, T,
T.
E. Right, lots of tension, right? Remember, E, E, E. Lots of tension, right? E, E. Great. Now in Spanish, mil, mil. Mm-hmm. Now, in English, listen to the quality of the final la sound. Meal, meal,
Oh.
meal. Right, meal. Now, I will ask you to try to imitate the quality of the final la sound. Right? Meal, meal,
Meal.
meal, meal. Right? Meal, meal. Right? Meal. Very good. The last one, hill, hill.
Hill.
Well, don't be that rude to me, right? I know I'm here with you. Okay, do that after the lesson. Okay, and the last one in English now. Hill, hill, hill. Now here we have to make a difference, right? We have to make a distinction between the initial sound in Spanish, right, which is hill, right, and we say right, hill, right, but in English the first sound is different. So let's try not to transfer this initial sound from Spanish into English. Why? Because in Spanish the ha sound is a glottal sound, and we make it with our glottis, right, which is the aperture between our vocal folds. So we have to pretend that we are fogging a mirror, for example, right? And so we say hill, hill, right? We don't say hill, hill, or hello, hello, right? We say hill, hill, and hello, hello, right? Exactly as if you were fogging a mirror, right? Okay, very good. So far, so good.
Yes.
Great, very good. Now let's have a look at spellings for E. Right? You also have to start making connections between graphemes and phonemes. Right? How phonemes are represented in orthography, how phonemes are orthographically represented. Now have a look at this table. The spellings are organized in terms of frequency, right? So double E is the most frequent spelling, and EI and EY is the least frequent spelling, right? So we can say that the first two are the norm, let's say, right? The first two are the most frequent spellings in the language. And the last four, right, are the least frequent, okay? And so we can treat them, we can consider them as exceptions to the norm, as exceptions to the rule, right? The thing is that you need to know both things, right? The norms, the rules, what is typical, right? And also the exceptions. And the only thing of learning spellings, to me, I don't know if there is a better method, is to study them by heart, right? I mean, there's no other way of dealing with spellings, at least at the very beginning of the course, right? So we have double E, right? As in, listen to me, just listen, right? Beef, canteen, cheese, eel, fee, feed, feel, feet, sea, seed, tree. Okay? What's the meaning of eel? Eel. Do you know?
¿No es el animal?
Yeah, it means anguila. Right? Good. And what about the others? I think the others are familiar to you, right? Yes. Yes, all of you. So we have double E, right, as the most frequent spelling. Then we have just one single E, as in be, complete, Eden, these. Now, the third word comes from the Bible, right? The Garden of Eden. Where Adam and Eve used to live happily together. Great. Now we have EA. Now you can see that this spelling is not very frequent, right? Have a look at the percentages. So now, bead, beat, cease, eaten, leaf, leash, leave, meal, reach, reason, see, seat. So let's see, what's the meaning of bead? Do you know?
Derrotar.
Bead, this one you can see here, the first word, bead with the.
Ah, sorry.
Bead, no? A pearl, right? Una perla. What's the meaning of cease?
Cesar.
Any ideas? Yeah. It is related with finish, right? With this idea of finishing. Leash? What's the meaning of leash?
Correa.
Exactly. And the others familiar to you, yes. Now we also have I as a spelling for E. And all these are words coming from French. Right here we can see the influence of French in English. So machine, machine, right? The first syllable isn't stressed, right? And so we say machine, machine, machine. Police, police, police. Prestige, prestige, right? And sweet, 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 right? And a suite is a room, right? And this word makes a, I mean, suite, the room, and suite, the adjective, right? Make a pair, right? Because they are homophones, right? They have different spellings, but the same sounds, right? Good. So again, machine, police, prestige, suites.
Sorry, I don't know what's the meaning of the TF and LF in the chart.
Yeah, where?
That says examples and then TF, I think, and LF. What's the meaning?
Yeah, that is related to the frequency, right? I don't know exactly that. I should check. But I guess that T stands for total frequency, maybe. And LF, I don't know.
Okay, it says
Right?
note 2 on
Right.
the
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What I do know is that the spellings are organized hierarchically, right? They are ordered in terms of frequency. Okay. But yes, let me check that.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you. Yes. I was about to, then I forgot, right? Now let's have a look at IE, right? As in field, field, league, peace, sig. Right? Now let me check something, please, before I forget. Let me check the meaning of the last word. Because it's not very common. I think that you use this word when a castle is under attack, for example. It's a history term. So siege, siege, meaning. Yeah, it is a military operation in which enemy forces surround a town or building, cutting off essential supplies, with the aim of compelling those inside to surrender. Right? That's a siege. Siege. Okay? Now I want the translation into Spanish. Translation.
¿No sería asedio o algo así?
Yes, yes.
Too many war movies.
Exactly. Asedio, exactly. Asedio, sitio, bloqueo. Very good. So now you know. And it is also used as a verb, right? It can be a noun and a verb as well. So a place may be under siege, for example, right? Great, very good. Now, and the last two spellings are EI and EY, okay, as in seize, receive, key, seize, receive, key. Okay, so far so good? Great. Now let's pass into I. I. English I is closer to Spanish I than to Spanish I, right? So we can say that it is 70% I and 30% I. So listen to me, please. I, 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 right? So as you can see, it is a high vowel, but it is not as high as E. Have a look at the position of the tongue here in the vocal tracts. Okay, so you can see that the tongue is high, right? But it is not so high as for E. So have a look at the position of the tongue for E. Now have a look at the position of the tongue for I. So as you can see now, the front part of the tongue doesn't touch the alveolar ridge. We haven't got that close contacts. And well, I is a laxed. Sorry, it is a lax vowel. Lax vowel. Right? Lax means relaxed. It is a relaxed vowel. So you don't need so much tension now. It is a lax vowel. So we say I, 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 I. And in terms of duration or length, it is a relatively short vowel compared with E, right, which is a relatively long vowel. So let's see if we can draw a comparison between vowel number 1 and vowel number 2. Vowel number 1 resembles Spanish E, right? And vowel number 2 resembles Spanish E. Both vowels are high, right? But vowel number 1 is higher than vowel number 2, right? As regards the position of the lips, for E, the lips are fully spread. Now, what about E? Have a look at this slide. Now, the lips are slightly spread or loosely spread, right? Slightly or loosely spread. And the corners make a light contact with the upper molars. So now the degree of spreading of the lips is minimal, right? Why? Because we say I, 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 I. Okay, so again, for vowel number 1, the lips are fully spread, right? The degree of spreading is complete, right? Whereas for I, the lips are slightly spread. So we can say that the degree of spreading is minimal. While E, vowel number 1, is a tense vowel, vowel number 2, I, is a lax vowel, right? We need lots of tension for the first vowel and not so much tension for the second vowel. In terms of duration or length, vowel number 1, E, is a relatively long vowel, and vowel number 2 is a relatively short vowel. Okay, are you following?
Yes.
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 Very good. So now let's have a look at the parameters we have followed to make this connection. Sorry, this comparison, right, between vowel number 1 and vowel number 2. Well, at first we made reference to L1 and L2 sound comparison, right? Then we made reference to tongue height, right? To the tongue height, okay? In Spanish, la altura de la lengua, right? Then we made reference to the position of the lips, right? Then we made reference to the degree of tension, right? Or tenseness as well, right? You can say tension or tenseness, right? And we also made reference to the length or duration, right? So we have all those parameters. So maybe you want to make a nice chart, right? You write all your parameters and then the description, right, you need for each of them, right? So that in that way you will be comparing both sounds visually, right? Then you can see that comparison, okay? But always, we always make comparisons taking into account certain criteria, right? Certain parameters, okay? So we compare based on a parameter, right? A certain criterion for comparison, okay? So we don't compare things just for the sake of comparing them. We compare things following parameters, certain criteria, right? So the idea is that you can see the logic, right, behind all this. Now let's compare Spanish E and English I, right? So first I want you to listen to me, right, and then I will ask you to repeat after me. So, Spanish first and English in the second place. Sin, sin, fin, fin, mis, miss, mix, mix, mil, mil, vil, bill, hill, hill, tick, tick. Right? So now you try. Sin in Spanish.
Sin.
Sin,
Sin.
sin. Now English. Sin, sin,
Sen.
sin,
Sen.
sin.
Sin.
Very good. Fin, fin,
Fin.
Fin.
fin. Mhm. Now, thin,
Fen.
thin.
Fen. Fen.
Right. Which means aleta, right? If I'm not wrong. Thin means aleta, I think. Now in Spanish, mis.
Mis.
Miss.
Miss.
Now in English, miss, miss,
Miss.
miss,
Miss.
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 Now Spanish, mix,
Mix.
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 Now English, mix, mix,
Mix.
mix. Spanish, mil,
Mil.
Min.
mil,
Mil.
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 Now, bill,
Bill.
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 English, bill, bill,
Bill.
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 Hill,
Hill.
Hill.
hill,
Hill.
hill, hill.
Hill. Hill.
Tick,
Tick.
right? Tick, tick, tick. And now the English version. Tick,
Tick.
tick,
Tick.
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 Exactly. Good. Now we're going to play a game which is very entertaining. Let's go back to the first chart. I'm going to read one word from each pair, and you have to tell me whether I am saying the Spanish version or the English version, right? Are you ready to play? Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. So you just tell me Spanish, English, right?
Okay.
Great. So let's start. Sin,
Spanish.
Spanish.
mi,
Spanish.
Spanish.
right? Ni,
English.
English.
right. Now, let's do something. Don't look at me. Why? Because otherwise you will be cheating because you can see my lips. So now listen. B,
English.
English.
V,
Spanish.
English.
is it?
I think
Again.
it's English.
Again, V,
Spanish.
Spanish.
V. Now, make this distinction, right, between the and D. The, D. The, D. Right? Yeah. T.
English.
Yeah. Mil.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Hill.
English.
Very good. Great. Now, you can see me again. Now let's go to the second list, right? So I'm going to follow the same procedure. Sin.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Good. Fin.
English.
English.
Yeah. Mis.
Spanish.
Mix.
Spanish.
Mill.
English.
Bill.
English.
Hill.
English.
Thick.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Very good. Great. We're done with this, with our game.
We are very competitive, I think.
Yes. Now, people, please, when you pronounce Spanish, right, try not to aspirate the p, right? Because in this word, the aspiration of p is neutralized because of the presence of the s, right? So we don't say Spanish, Spanish. We say Spanish, 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 right? With no aspiration. Why? Because of the presence of the previous s. So we may say that s neutralizes the aspiration of p. Okay? So don't say Spanish, Spanish. Say Spanish, 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 right? Now, spellings for I. The good thing about I is that it is almost always represented by an I in the spelling, right? So have a look at the percentages. 61%, right, in terms of frequency. So let's have a look at the examples now. Ability, bikini, fifth, fill, film, finish, kiln, milk, little, profits, rich, safari, sin, sit, spelling, will, with, right? Now, what's the meaning of kiln? Do you know?
No.
Well, it is a kind of oven, right? In Spanish, it means horno, estufa, o caldera sometimes, right? Now, the second spelling, E. And we have cabbage, careless. Well, in fact, in a more modern version of General British English, we pronounce the final syllable with a schwa, right? So we don't say careless, but careless, right? Not careless, but careless, right? So cabbage, careless, England, accepts, finale, houses, needed, pretty, recipe, wicked, wicked. We have both. So as you can see here, I occurs in the pronunciation of plural endings, as in houses, right? Houses, houses. And in the pronunciation of ed endings for past tense verbs, right? Needed, needed, right? Now we also use this ed ending for certain adjectives. For example, wicked, right? Now, the next spelling, Y, right? We have celebrity, cyst. What's the meaning of cyst? Do you know?
I think is kiste.
Exactly. Very good. Yeah. Cyst. Finale. Happy. Italy. Pity. Recipe. Rhythm. Syllable. Right? We say syllable and not syllable. Right? Be careful. Syllable. Symbol. Right? In both words, we have an I sound. Right? Syllable and symbol.
Sorry, why is
Yeah.
recipe in Y and in E? It's the same word, right?
Yes.
Doesn't mean anything. Okay.
Why? Recipe. 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 In the E column, because of the final E, right? And where is it repeated? Is
In the
it
Y
repeated?
column.
Yeah, in the Y column. Yes, you're right. It shouldn't be here. Celebrity, cyst,
The same with
finale. No. The thing is that here we are focusing on the final sound, right? That's why. Okay? That's why. That's why. Here we are focusing on I when it occurs in a final position in the words, right? You see that here you can see I finally, right? So, for example, you have celebrity, finale, right? Italy, pity. Okay? Anyway, this is a very conservative pronunciation of a general British English, right? Because in final position nowadays we have a different sound. Okay, it is more similar, right? It bears more resemblance with E, right? With vowel number 1, right? And not so much with vowel number 2. Because in fact we say celebrity, finale, happy, right? Italy, pity, right? Recipe. Okay, you see? So the only words which are useful for the Y spelling, in fact, are cyst, rhythm, syllable, and symbol, right? In all those, you have I, right? I. In the rest of them, right, you have an E sound in final position, and in this final position, in a modern version of general British English, we produce a vowel number 1, right, and not a vowel number 2.
Okay.
Okay, right? Very good. So maybe we can cross out here celebrity, finale, happy, Italy, pity, recipe, right? And we can take just cyst, rhythm, syllable, symbol. Okay? Now, next spelling, A. Which, again, in a more modern version of general British English, you are going to hear a schwa at the end, right? And not so much an I sound, right? So we have private or private, right? Private with schwa or private with I. Message with I, message. Orange, orange. Surface, and village, right? So private or private, message, orange, surface, village. Next spelling, IE, as in cities, field, ladies, lingerie, reverie, sieve. So cities, ladies, lingerie, reverie, sieve. Lingerie means lencería, right? Reverie means ensueño. Sieve means colador, right? And I'm thinking of field. It shouldn't be here, right? Because we say field with vowel number 1. Why is it here? Shouldn't be here. No, it shouldn't be here. I don't know why it is. Right, so forget about field, right? Because it is pronounced with vowel number 1, not with vowel number 2. Right, field, field, right? And finally, we have EY, right? As in donkey, honey, kidney, monkey, trolley. So remember that in final position, in a more modern version of general British English, we use vowel number 1, right? So we say donkey, honey, kidney, monkey, trolley, right? E, E, E at the end of words. So this vision of British English is more conservative, right? Why? Because the author of this book, Crattenden, you can see the name here, right? He's a very old man now. That's why. his way of pronouncing words is very old-fashioned. Okay. Very good. Now, let's have a look at the phenomenon of pre-Phonetics clipping. And for that, we have this acronym, right? PFC. So E, vowel number 1, is a long vowel, a fully long vowel in an open syllable, or in a syllable followed by a lenis consonant. Right? So, for example, let's have a look at some examples. See, seed, seen, fee, feed, fees. Right? So, when E occurs in an open syllable, as in see, right? Or when E occurs in a syllable followed by a lenis consonant, E is fully long, as in seed, right? So see, seed, seen, fee, feed, fees. Okay?
Sorry, Brian. Linus means voiced, by the way.
Yeah, in general, lenis consonants are voiced. Yeah, but they're not exactly the same, right? In terms of force of articulation in English, we have two groups of consonants. We have Phonetics consonants and lenis consonants. Phonetics consonants are produced with more muscular efforts and with more breath efforts as well, right? For example, p, f, s, th, right? Those are Phonetics consonants. Whereas lenis consonants are produced with less muscular effort, with less articulatory effort, and with less breath effort as well. Right?
Okay, thanks.
It's okay. And here we have examples of lenis consonants, right? D, n, and z. Right? D, n, and z. Those are lenis consonants. Right? Now, what happens when E is followed by a Phonetics consonant? Its length is reduced to 50%. Right? We can say that the length of the vowel is clipped, is reduced. Right? The vowel is shortened. How much? Well, up to a 50%. And for that, we have a good strategy, right? A good strategy to check whether you are producing a clipped E is to snap your fingers, right? You have to snap your fingers, right? Your production of the clip vowel should fit within one snapping. Okay, for example, let's have a look at the list here. Least, 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 right? One snapping, and you have to fit that clipped E within the snapping, right? So let's compare. C, right? C, here, E is fully long, right? But in seat, for example, seat, right? That E is clipped, right? It's shortened. Why? Because of the presence of the Phonetics consonant. Okay? So, Phonetics consonants make E lose length. Okay, that's the effect that Fortis consonants have on E.
And how do we notice that? I mean, for example, in list and fees, there are two S.
Where?
Fees, there are.
Yes.
And then list.
Yeah. Here, E is fully long. Why?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the words, you have the leanest consonants. You have Z, right? Z, the B sounds, right? So we say fees, fees, right? Z is the leanest consonant.
Okay.
So E will be fully long. Fees, fees, right?
Right.
Okay. Now in least, 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 right? The E sound, vowel number 1, is followed by a S and by a T as well. And both are Fortis consonants, right? Both S and T are Fortis consonants.
Okay.
Okay? So you have least, reach, reach, sheep, sheep, weak, weak, feet, feet, right? So the quality of the vowel remains the same, right? We need the tension, we need spreading of the lips, full spreading of the lips. The quality is the same. Now, what varies is the length. Okay, that's the only parameter that varies, right? So far, so good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And this phenomenon is known as pre-Fortis clipping, right? So remember that clipping means reduction, right? Reduction in length. Okay. Fortis, because it is produced by Fortis consonants when they occur in final position in the syllable, right? And pre, because the length of E is reduced, is shortened when it occurs before, right? That's why pre, when E occurs before a Fortis consonant. Right? If you remember the term, and if you remember each constituent, right, you will remember this definition as well, right? Pre means before, Fortis refers to the group of consonants, right? So pre refers to the position of E within the syllable, right? Before a Fortis consonant. Fortis refers to the group of consonants which produces, right, this effect on E, and clipping means reduction in length, right? Clipping means shortening, right? Shortening and reduction. Very good. So we are done with this part.
Sorry, Brian, can
Yes.
I ask you a question because my internet is not
Yes.
working very well, so sometimes I can't hear you.
Yeah.
When you said with the difference between sheep and ship,
Yes.
that you have pre-Fortins clipping too, right?
Yeah. Have a look at this pair. in the first word, right, you have vowel number 1, right, E. But you know that this syllable ends with P, right? P is a Phonetics consonant, right? So P makes E reduce its length, right? So we are not going to say sheep, 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 right? We are just going to say sheep, 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 right? And in ship, we don't have pre-Phonetics clipping, right? Pre-Phonetics clipping only affects vowel number 1, E, right?
Yes, thank you. Because m- my teachers, oh, they always said, like they marked the difference between them two, making the vowel long. So, when you're young and they teach you something, it's like it's stuck in your head.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's kind of
Yes, I know, I know.
separate it. Thank you.
It's okay. So remember, in sheep, the quality of the vowel remains the same. What varies is the length, right? We only have a difference in length. Okay, that's why you should practice while you snap your fingers, right? And the clip vowel should fit within this snapping, right? So let's try. So repeat after me, please. Least.
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 Right.
Least.
Least. Reach.
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 Sheep.
Reach.
Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep. Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep. Shorter.
Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep. Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep.
Sheep.
Great.
Sheep.
Weak.
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 Feet.
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 Feet. Shorter. Feet.
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 There. Right? Very good. So that's why we said at the very beginning that E is a relatively long vowel, right? It is not always long, okay? It depends on the phonetic environment. So now let's go back to the virtual classroom. There. Well, I don't know if you're able to watch this video in which vowel number 1 and vowel number 2 are contrasted.
This is a long vowel sound. It's pronounced E, E, E.
Okay? So you see, E, E.
Now here are some words which have this sound. Fleece,
Now, you see here, in this word, right, E is shortened. It is reduced. Why? Because of the presence of S, which is a Phonetics consonant. So we say fleece, 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 right?
C.
Now, in C, vowel number 1 is fully long. C, right? And we can sustain the sound. We can say C, right?
Machine.
Machine, machine. The same happens in machine, right? N is a leanest consonant. So again, we can sustain the sound. We can say machine, machine freely, right? As long as we want it to be, right? Machine, machine.
This is a short vowel sound. It's pronounced I. 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 Now here are some words which have this sound. Kit. Bid. Him. Minute.
Right?
Now here are some words.
I wanted to point out
I.
something.
Now here are some words which have this sound. Kit.
Right? Please listen to the aspiration of k, right? Of the initial k.
Now here are some words which have this sound. Kit.
Right? Again.
Kit.
Right? Kit. Kit. Right? Kit. Now let's have a look at some minimal pairs. Right? Minimal pairs are pairs of words which differ in only one sound. I repeat, minimal pairs are pairs of words which differ in only one sound.
For speakers of some languages, it can be difficult to tell the difference between this sound, the long vowel E, and another sound, the short vowel I. Here are some examples where you can hear the difference. Liter, litter. Cheap, chip. Feet, bit. He's, his. Peach, pitch. Sheep, ship.
Well, so as you can see here, we have many instances of pre-Phonetics clipping, right? For example, in litter, liter, right? In cheap, feet, peach, and sheep, right? And how are we going to represent that pre-Phonetics clipping? You know that the two dots, right, indicates length, right? The two dots are length marks, right? Now, we are going to represent those instances of pre-Phonetics clipping with just one single dot, right? So not two dots, but one dot, right? So the presence of one dot in your transcription indicates, right, signals that you are aware of pre-Phonetics clipping. So that's why you can see in his, right, you can see the two dots, right? Why? Because we have a fully long E, right? So we say he's, that's in cheap, 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 you have just one dot. Why? Because the length of E is shortened, right? Why? Because of the presence of the Phonetics consonants, right? Of the final Phonetics consonants. So far, so good? Great.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, tell me, please.
How are we going to be able to notice when there is a fortis consonant and a linen consonant?
Well, you have to pay attention to the duration of the vowel, right? The length of the vowel, how long the vowel is, right? If you can feel, if you can sense, right? If you can hear that the vowel is fully long, you have long E, right? Fully long E. Now, if you feel that the length of the sound is shortened, right? If you can feel that the length of the sound is not that long as it should be, right? In isolation, well, in that situation, right? You will be able to tell that E is shortened, right? You have to focus just on the length, on how long the vowel lasts, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so why? Because remember that when E is clipped, its length, right, is reduced to more or less 50%,
Yes.
right? So the only difference, as I said before, is length, right? The quality of the vowel is the same, right? Because you are going to have tension, right? Lots of tension. Your lips are going to be spread, right? You have to smile. The only difference is the length, right? Because I also say, for example, sheep, right? And I smile and my lips go upwards, right? Okay. The only difference is length. So we are not supposed to say sheep, sheep, right? But sheep, 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 right? Now, when E is fully long, yes, we can make it as long as we want it to be, right? So we can say he's, right? He's, okay? So remember that, yes. Yeah, let me write them down for you. Or let me find a picture. Maybe I can share it with you. Here. So let me. Here. Right? Okay, so fortis consonants are p, t, k, f, th, s, sh, and ch, right? P, t, k, f, th, s, sh, ch. Okay, why? Because I need more muscular efforts, right? And more breath efforts when I produce p and t and k and th and th and s and sh and ch, right? I need an extra amount of force of articulation, right? I need to make an effort. Remember that fortis means strong in Latin, right? Fortis comes from Latin. In Latin, fortis means strong, right?
Can you post this picture on the classroom?
Yes, yes, of course, I will.
Thank you.
So let me download this. So these are Phonetics consonants. There, great. So far so good. Are you following? Great.
Yes.
Great. So now I want to do 2 discrimination tasks. Let's do the first one. So the idea is to listen to the recording and to identify what words we hear first, right? We are going to listen to pairs of words, right? So is this big enough? Or shall I make this bigger?
It's okay.
Okay, okay. So let's see.
Sheep. Ship. Sheep.
So let's read the question. Which words do you hear first? Sheep or ship? Sheep
Ship.
or ship?
Ship.
Ship.
Let's see.
Ship. Sheep.
Let me type it. Yes, that's correct. Very good. Next question. Which word do you hear first? Cheap or chip? Cheap or chip?
Cheap. Chip.
Again. Wait,
Cheap. Chip.
which one?
Cheap.
Right.
Cheap.
Okay. Right. Make it short, right? Cheap. 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 Just one snapping of the fingers. Cheap. Cheap. Yeah. Let's see. Very good. Next question. Which word do you hear first? Feet or fit? Feet or fit?
Feet. Fit.
Again.
Feet. Fit.
Feet. Feet.
Okay. Feet. Good. Feet. Let's see. Very good. Next question. Which word do you hear first? His or his?
His. He's.
Again.
His. He's.
His. His.
His.
His.
Let's see. Very good. Next question. Which word do you hear first? Peach or pitch? Peach or pitch?
Pitch. Peach.
Again.
Pitch. Peach.
Pitch.
You tell me.
Pitch.
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 Very good. That's correct. Next question. Which word do you hear first? Liter or litter?
Liter. Litter.
Again.
Liter. Litter.
Liter.
Liter.
Let's see. Very good. That's correct. Yes. Very good. You're so clever. Great. Yeah. You were outstanding. Well, yeah, that's why. So, this task I designed myself. And the next one is stolen, right? I haven't done it myself. So now let me share this window. There. Oh, we need to wait a little bit. There. So, let's have a look at the instructions. Listen to the pairs of words. One has a long vowel, E, and one has a short vowel, I. Again, right? A relatively long vowel. Why? Because remember that E is reduced, right? Is clipped when it occurs before a faultless consonant, right?
Leave. Live.
You tell me.
Leave. Leave.
Leave, right? So you see, E is fully long, right? But why? Because of the presence of the leanest consonant. The is a leanest consonant, so we can sustain the sound. We can say leave, leave, right? As long as we want it to be, right? Leave. I can stay all day long saying leave, right? You can sustain the sound, right? So let's see. Yes, you are correct. Now let's see what happens with this pair. No sound. Why is that? Oh, come on. I don't want to do it myself. I'm not a native. I can't speak English. Well, you'll have the privilege of listening to me. So, let's see. Ship. Sheep. Again. Ship. Sheep.
Ship. Ship.
Ship.
Ship.
Right, very good. Well, now we don't know if we are right or wrong, right? Oh, yes, you're right. Very good. Lucky you. So, you see, in sheep, 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 the length of the vowel is shortened, right? We don't say sheep, right? We cannot sustain the sound as long as we want to, right? We have to shorten it. We have to clip it. Sheep, 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 right? Now let's see the next one. But I want the sound. No. Oh, come on. Well, let's see if I try to refresh the page. Because honestly, I want the sound. Otherwise, this is useless. Let's see now. The thing is, my connection is pretty slow because of the meeting. Well, anyway, you know that you can do all this at home, right? So let's see.
Leave.
Yeah.
Live.
So here we said leave. Oh, come on.
Ship.
Yes.
Sheep.
So what happens here? Ship.
Ship.
That's very good. Oh, please, I pray to God.
Fit.
Yes.
Feet.
Okay. Here,
Fit.
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 fit, right? In feet, the length of the vowel is reduced because of the presence of t, right? So we say feet, 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 right? It is long, but it is not that long, right? Its length is reduced to 50%. Ah, yes. So we said fit, right? Yes, you're correct. Oh, no sound again. Sorry. No, you see, the problem is my connection. Well, you listen to me, right? Beat, bit. Again, beat, bit.
Beat.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very good. So you see, I can do it without the sound. No. Well, the last one. I think that this is the last pair. So, chip, cheap. Again, chip, cheap.
Chip. Chip.
Let's see if we are lucky. Oh, look at that. Now, last pair. Now I don't know which word to choose because I want to be correct again. So let's see. It, eat, it, eat.
It.
Yes, You see? Very good.
Brian, I have a question.
Yes, we've done it. Yes, tell me.
Are we going to have a break soon?
Yes, now, right now.
Thank you.
Yes, you've earned it. Yes, we are going to stop now for 10 minutes, right?
Thanks.
So
Great,
that you can,
thank you.
so that you can wake up, right? Great, very good. So, see you in 10 minutes, right?
Okay.
Okay, see ya.
Okay, see you. Don't leave, right? Come back.